Hello, guys. So, good afternoon to every one of you guys. So, the tools I usually use on that of trading view. Okay, this is the default of the platform. First, in order for me to have my panels like this, come to this area. Those of you that don't have the panel there, okay, if it's not there, you can check like this. Just go to drawing panel to show like this, right? Once you do that, then the moment you do that, you can click on. You can see this. This is the what arrow. Then you can come to. Then you can start it like this. Okay, I use this. I use this also. Any ones you are using, you can always what style it. It will be what? It will be your favorite. Okay. Once you do that, it will show. You can see the ones that have started so far. They are the ones here. Now let me bring it here. You can see it here. Now, if I go to the next one, the tools I usually use also Fibonacci retracement. I use it. It's going to show there. Fibonacci trend-based fib extension. I use it. It's going to show also. I also make use of I'm looking for other stuff. If I'm using any of this stuff, I will add it there. I will also check it. It's going to be there, but I'm not using it. So I'll go to the next one. The next one, I'm using that of what? This all this OLL wave by pattern are the what I'm using. Okay, you can see it there. This. Okay. So and I also make use of head and shoulder pattern. So I will check it. It's going to be there. You can see everything there. So I can also go to the next one now. This is price projection, long time projection. You can check it. Short time projection, forecast. You can check it. All this when you check it to show there. Okay. Now, price range. The purpose of me using this price range to measure my pips. That's what I use it for. You can see it here. Now, this is the price range. If I want to measure this whole move upward there now, I want to know the pips above. You can see it here. This is 400 and what? 438 pips. Okay. Yeah. You can see it here from this levels here to this area here. That's the pip. If I move it downward to this area also here, you can see 617 what? 17 pips. Okay. On the trade. Okay. So that's the tools of it now. This forecast bar is for me to be able to forecast my projection. You can see what I'm using it for. Do you see? That's what I use it for. Like I'm trying to anticipate where price is going to get to. So, okay, this is short position. What I use the tools to be able to know the short entry. Okay, so you can see it here. Let's say this is my risk now. Okay, this is my stop loss risk. Okay, why this is my target. Probably maybe this is my target. You can see it here now. Okay, so that's what I use it for. The long position bar, for example, my entry is here upward to this area here. Now you can see here and all this area here, and this the red box is here is my stop loss. This is the figures. This is my entry. This is my take profit levels. You can see it here now. Where this green position end is the figure. This is the figures here. Okay, that this one here that is green. Okay, that's what I use the tools for. WXY, we use it to label correction of wave principle. Correction of wave principle. Triangles, we use this for triangles. A, B, C, D, E. Then now that of what? ABC, we use it for that of what? ABC correction, right? Why that of wave 1 up to 5? You can see it. If I click here, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Okay. Now note this. A lot of you guys might, maybe when you start clicking yours, it might show something like this. Let's just when you click it just go to that of the setting. This box is here. You can see it here. Click the setting. Then you might have something like this. Maybe you have line like this. You want to uncheck it, just to not remove it. You can see the degree also. You can change it to any degree you want. You can see. You can change it to the least degree. You can see any degree you want to use it. You can do that. Okay. Now also, if you also want to change the color, you can come to the color here. Then probably you want to change it to black, it will change. You want it to change it to green, it will change. You want it to change it to blue, it will change. Okay, you want it to change to this, it will change. Okay, any color you want to, you can do that at that of the what? The setting. That is what I use the tools of wave principle for now. Also, the fib extension. This is the fib extension. When you click on the fib extension, for example, this fib extension, I want to measure this upward, right? Then you come to this area also, this setting. So the levels you want to use, you can always do that. Okay, these are the levels I use. Okay, you can see it here. This they are the levels I make use of. Okay, so if I want to remove the price. I don't want this price also. You can uncheck, add back to show, uncheck, add back. Okay, I want it to be one background, use one color. You can do that also here. I want to reduce the size, but I don't want it to be bigger. If I want it to be big, I don't want it to be big, you can always reduce it. Okay, I want it to be at the middle, the center, the left. All these are there. These are what they are all they are all for. I want to change the levels from percentage to that of value. You can see that's changed to what? Value. If I want to change it back to percentage, you can see that's changed back to what? To percentage. Okay, that's what I do with that of the what? The tools. Okay, now the fib extension, excuse me, that's fib extension. Let me go to that of fib retracement. This is fib retracement also. The levels I use, okay, these are the levels I use, okay, but I want to do the setting so that you guys can see the setting of it. You can see the levels here. Let me bring this here. So let's go to the setting bar, right, and drag this here. Okay, now you can see these are the levels I use. Okay, any figures you want to do, you can always edit, type it, and it will show there the ones you want to show there, and it go to the levels you want. The same thing I did on that of the fib extension. You can change from value to what? Percentage of value to what? Percentage. Okay, you want it to be bigger, you maybe the figures are what? They are smaller. You can always do that, adjust that with doing this. Okay, now also the if you don't want to, like, I'm using a single color now. If I want to use it to neutral, let's say I don't want it, I want it to be that of this. Is how it's going to be when you first of all apply. You can see it here now. So when you start, this is what is going to be. But I don't want something like this. I don't want it to be like this. So you can always check it, click on it, then you go to that of this box here, this hexagon box, which is setting. Go to setting. Then you can scroll down. Then once you scroll down, you can start setting it. Okay, let's I don't want this. I want it to be smaller like this. Okay, I don't want the trend line. I can uncheck it. It won't be there again. Also, the levels I want to use, I want to use one color. Probably I want to use black. Do you understand? So I don't want it to show this background that is showing. Then you can always remove it like this. Excuse me. I don't want it to show the background. You can always what? Uncheck this. It will not show background. You can see it, right? If I want the background to show, if I click on it and I do this, it will show. You can see the background. But I don't want the background. You can always drag it downward. Okay. Now, if I don't want the figures, these figures here, I don't want it to be at that of the left hand side. I want it to be at the right hand side. All I just need to do is to go downward. You can see price value. Like, this is the value. I want to change it to percentage. You can go to percentage. You can see it here. I don't want it to be on my left. I want it to be on my right center. You can see it has changed to what? Right. Or I want it to be at the middle center. It will be at the what? At the center. You can see it here now. So if I want it to be at the top, it will be at the top or bottom. Anything I want it to do, it will be. If I want it to be at the what? At the middle, it will be. If I want it to be what? At the right hand side, it will be. Okay. So all these, they are what I usually what? Do. Also, if I don't want this price here to show, only the percentage of that of the Fibonacci retracement level, all I need to do is this. Okay. You can see that I will check it. It's no longer what? There. And I can as well do this reverse to turn it upside down. That's what it means. If I want to reverse it back, so I want to reverse it, turn it upside down, you can do that also. Okay. Yeah. No, after doing all this, you've been able to set the levels you want to use. Okay, these are the levels I use for my field retracement levels. Let me show you. You can see it here. These are the levels I use. Okay, these are the levels I use. Once I'm doing, probably I'm marking wave 2. Once I've been able to know the endpoint of my wave 2, I usually uncheck every other levels. Let's assume this is my wave 2 here now. This is my wave 2 here now, and it end around somewhere here now, right? So all I just need to do is to go to the setting place. I will no longer, the levels I'm not using, you can see that it is 85% of that of this wave 2 where it end there now. For example, I will uncheck every other levels. I will only keep to that of what? The 85% what? Levels, which is this. Okay, so you can see that is the only level that is remain. Okay, then I click on OK. You can see that is there. If I don't want this stuff to keep moving, I can as well lock it. You can see where they put a key here. Lock. If I do this, if I drag it, it will move. You can see it's there. So those are things I usually what I also do also. Now, the other stuff, this is the cost to be able to move all this, to show the cost. This is the cost. Okay, why this is the what? The arrow. Okay, this is the arrow I'm moving, right? So those are tools I use that for. Okay, now the next tools I also make use of, which is this. If you go to that of the brush, okay, you can see arrow. I do use arrow. I light it. I do use what? Rectangle. I light it. I do make use of what? The part where you can see I use it is going to show there. Okay, probably any other, if you are using the double curve, all this stuff, if you are going to use it, you can always what? add it also. Now, what am I using this for? This rectangle is to know my word, to mark my horizontal levels. You can see it here now. If I want it to be bold, come to this area here. You can see that it's bold. You can see here, this is where you are. Okay, line 2 background. Okay, you can see I want the outside the background also bold. You can see it here now. This is it. Probably I want to change it to red, the horizontal line of the top. Okay, not the inside. Okay, you can see it here now. So if I want to do it also, I can as well go to setting. So if I want to change the color, I can as well change the color. Probably let's say I want to use the black for the color now. You can see it has changed. I want to use this for the color. It has changed. Okay. Now I want to remove this border, the border of it. Okay, it's no longer there. You can do that. Okay. Or I want it to be thick. Okay, and I want it to be there. Okay, I can always what add it there. You can see that is what is thick. Anything you want to do with that. Okay. I want to add text with it. Probably let's say I want to add that of what Jerry with the text now, for example. You can see it will show now, it will show Jerry, and I want the Jerry to be inside. You can see that it's inside there. Okay, this is the Jerry here. You can see it here now. Let me change the color of the text so that everybody can see it clearly. Excuse me. Let me use probably black. Okay, you can see the Jerry now. Let me go to it. Let me do it very well. So let me use capital letter. Okay, Jerry. You can see right now. So if I want the word to be bigger, I can always do all this. You can see that it's Jerry here, right? And I want it to be bold. I don't want it to be bold. I want it to be bold. If I want it to be italic, you can say I don't want it anyone. You can always do that. Okay. Now, if is inside, you can say it's inside. Left is on the left hand side, but I want it to be at the center. You can see. You can always adjust that also. Those are things I usually do. Or I want it to be at the bottom. You can see. I want it to be at the top. You can see. That's the tools for. Okay. Now coordinate. All this you don't need it except you want to know the figures. Okay. From the bottom to the top, you want to know the figures. You can always change it also. You want to be able to widen. All this you don't need it. They are normal. These are they should be. Okay. Now, so after you are done with this, let's assume you want to save it as your template. Anytime you need it, you can just come to template. You can click on save as, then type name, then you save it. So when next you need a template, for example, let's assume I've saved this now. I can always go to my what? When next I need it, I can always come to my template, then go to my what? Then apply the for the one you use. You can always what? Click on it, it will show on your what? On your screen. So those are also I use that for that the rectangle for. Okay. Now the part is for me to be able to project a market. Probably it's going to go up and come down. That's what I use that for. Okay. So the same thing, you can go to the setting. This is the setting box. Okay. I want it to be bold. I can always click the okay, make it what bold. You can see. I want it to be thick. You can see. I want it to be smaller. I want to be this. You can see. So those are the tools. That's what I use it for. Now, the next thing I make use of the text, you can check it here. Let's assume I want to write word now on this market here. That's it. Let's say it will go up or blah 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 stuff, etc. So that's what I use it for. I want to reduce the thickness, the big size of the text. I can always do that. Come to the setting. I can always adjust that. Okay. I want it to be bold. I want it to be not bold. I can always do that. I want it to have background. I can always do it. I want it to have border. I can always do text wrap. I want it to be wrap. I can always do that. Okay. All these, those are what I use the text for. Okay. Now the next is that, or let me remove all this join. Okay. The next is that of along the text, I do make use of call out. Now this call out, this is what I use call out for. You can see it here now. Once I check it, you can see it here now. If I can always project something like this, so I can always write what I'm trying to look for on the old trade there. Okay. So and this can be used. Okay, you can write a word. Let's say it will go upward by go by at so level. You can see that it's showing inside it. Okay. So that's it. You can only change the thickness, wrap it. You want it to be not wrap, you want it border, you want it to be thick, all those stuff. You can always what? You can always do that. Anything you want to do, you can always do that. All you just need to do, once you have been able to click on the tools you want to use itself, you can always come to the setting. You can see it here now. The moment you click it, any area you let me bring this down. Okay. Once you do that, click on it to show this, then you can always adjust it anything you want to do. So I use that of the call out also. Okay, so those are the tools I do make use of. Okay, so now the tools I'm not using, sometimes I do usually delete them. Okay, if I delete them, you can see remove drawing. You can see that it's only this that is there now. So if I click on remove drawing, you can see it's no longer there. So those are things like that. So these are the tools I do make use of, and I also make use of this also, the trend line. Check it. If I want to draw the trend line, I do make use of it. This is the trend. Okay, so this market is going upward now, right? I believe it will go upward, draw the upward trend line. So to come to the setting, I want it to be bold, I want it to be etc. Anything I want it to do, I can always write word, maybe with bullish trend, right? Right? Okay, so this is the bullish, okay, and I want it to be bold. You can see that it's up here, and I want it to be below. So middle or bottom, you can see it here now. So center. So you can see anywhere I want it to be, it can always be there. Okay, so that those are things, those are the tools of the word trend line. You can as well go to this save as blah blah stuff. Let's say I want to use Telegram. You can see this, it is a trend line. I only write where belly there. If I want to change in Telegram to, you can see it here now. Telegram to, you can see it here now. I want to use what? Devote, you can see it here now. So all these are the things I usually do with what? The trend also. If you want to add this, if you want to make it arrow, you can see. If you want to make it this, you can always what? Do that also. Okay, you can see there is two what? Arrow also. I use the trend line to do that. Okay. Now the other stuff I do make use of is that of horizontal line and that of horizontal ray. Okay, and likewise I use parallel what? Channel here, which is what I'm doing now. So all these you can see, these are the tools that all these are the tools I use. Okay, parallel horizontal line is to be able to mark up my, let me remove all the drawing first. This parallel horizontal line here is to be able to mark up my what? Support, right? So you can see what I did it now. What I did here now. So when you check, when you go to click on it, go to this setting here, you can see it here now. So you can always what? Do all the whole correction, everything there. Okay, you can always what? Do everything there. So all this, there are things usually what I usually do. Okay, I use that of the horizontal line also. So but sometimes I do make it double, right? You can see it here now. So these are the double horizontal levels. Okay, so those are things I used to do that. Okay, horizontal ray, if I want to pinpoint only these levels there, the same approach of where you say how you set it is the same thing with that of what? The the what's it called? The horizontal line, they are the same way you can set it. Now the last tools I do make is parallel channel. Parallel channel, for example, if I see that market is in a bullish structure, so if it's going upward, I will click from the start from the eye to the next eye, and I'll bring it downward like this. Okay, let me make this bold. Okay, now when you first of all use it, go to setting. It will show, let me use the default so that everybody can, you can see this is the default, this is how it will be, okay, on your stuff, right? But when you go to the setting of it, you can always come to the settings. On the setting, for example, now you can see that there is no text. If I want text to be there, I can always type text, but I don't need it. So all I'm going to do is that background, I don't need it, remove. You can see it here now, right? So I the tools, the upper one is this. I will change it to probably black, okay, and I want it to be fade, okay, so I don't want it to be as thick as this. Okay, so that's the whole stuff I will use on that. Okay, excuse me, let me adjust this. So the parallel, what's wrong with this? Excuse me. Click on it, come to the settings of it. Okay, so you can see from the whole present, which is this whole area here, so to the list. Okay, so I don't want it to be that. Okay, so I can always do that. I want it to be this, but I want it to be fade away, and I don't want it to be thick as that. I can always do this. Okay, and I want it to be black. Okay, I can always do that. Then I'll go to the next one, which is this. I can go to that of what? The not the center, excuse me, the 100%. I don't need it. Okay, so the 100, this level is there. So I want it to be black also. I can always check this. Okay, come to this. Okay, and I'll keep to this. Okay, those are things I usually what